Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to another Marvel video. I haven't done one of these in like 2 weeks, and I know I've been lacking, and it's kind of contradicting the fact that I'm actually getting more Marvel content than ever, and honestly, we all are, with Shang-Chi coming out. What if Hawkeye just got announced today? I mean, Hawkeye's been announced, but the trailer actually got released today. It's been a whole journey, but with that being said, in this video, we're going to be talking about What If episodes 4 and 5. Before I go any further, there are going to be spoilers in this video for What If, but I know that most of you probably don't care, to be honest, so let's just get into it. So in this game, we're going to be talking about What If episode 4, and then in the next game, we'll talk about What If episode 5 to kind of split it up pretty evenly. And I've said this in the last video and the video for before that, these What If episodes just keep getting better and better. Now, I might be a little bit biased, but I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty concerned with the direction Marvel was taking a couple months ago when they released Black Widow, and then they started releasing What If, because while it wasn't terrible, it wasn't bad, it was very subpar. I think that the first episode of What If and then also Black Widow, neither of them were that great, so I was a little bit concerned for the future of Marvel, but I really shouldn't have been, because right after that, we got some very good What If episodes. Shang-Chi came out, which I'm not going to be talking about just yet, but I've actually seen it twice, and I'm going to watch it a third time soon. And I will be making a video on that fairly soon in the next couple of days here. Before I did that, I just want to give some time for people to watch it so that I didn't spoil anything for anyone. But with that being said, let's talk about What If episode 4. So What If episode 4 was about Doctor Strange, and the what if was, what if instead of losing his hands, he loses his love. And his love is his heart, basically. That is Christine, the doctor that works with him, and it was basically about her dying in the car accident that made Strange lose his hands in the first place. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this episode was amazing, and there is a very good reason why this episode was so good, and the reason is because it was literally not expected whatsoever. We did not expect that to happen at all. For those of you guys that watch this episode, you're probably just as surprised as me to see the entire universe die out because an evil Doctor Strange kills a good one and absorbs his energy. I mean, that is ridiculous. Like, no one expected that. For those of you that watch my videos consistently, you already know that one of the most important things to me about making a TV show or a movie good is the unexpectancy factor, okay? The unexpectancy factor has to be good. Shock value is very, very important. Shock value can matter more than a plot. It can make a plot that's subpar really, really good if something happens that no one expects and they like it. Shock value is really, really important, and first of all, the shock value for this show was just amazing. I mean, the good thing about this show is that it's so unpredictable because you can literally explore any possible reality. They can make any decision. They can literally do whatever they want. I mean, they have a freaking zombie episode. So What If is going to be an unexpected show, and that's one of the reasons it's so good, even though it's a live action, because you really can't expect what's going to happen. And this rut that Marvel is known for falling into is the generic route, which they've done a really good job of recently staying out of, especially with Shang-Chi and whatnot, but that's always going to be a present factor when it comes to MCU, because they can only get so dark, they can't go the Daredevil route really, and whatnot, so, you know, they're pretty limited with what they can do with plots and whatnot, but, I mean, honestly, this was so unexpected. Not only the unexpected shock value, but the entire episode was actually really, really good. We saw so much difference in Benedict Cumberbatch's voice, and I am positive that he was the one that voice acted that episode. He did such a good job. He has so much vocal range, and he is so talented, not only as an actor, but also a voice actor, because he did a really good job. He showed emotion. He was sad when a sad thing happened. He was traumatized by the death of Christine. You felt for him, even when he was evil, and that's why this episode was so good, because you really cannot cannot go wrong with Benedict Cumberbatch, especially when he's the lead character of a TV show or movie. I mean, this guy does such a good job. He takes his roles so seriously, even when it's literally an animation. He does such a good job, and he never disappoints. And that is one of the reasons why this episode was so good. And I mean, the first episode felt a little bit underwhelming, the Peggy Carter one, and even the second one a little bit, even though the T'Challa episode was pretty good. But these episodes just keep getting better and better and better, and if they keep going this route, then I'm really excited. And I never really thought I would be this excited for a live action, especially if it was an MCU TV show, because they have to really do a good job of balancing all of this information in a 30-minute time span, which in itself is not easy at all. And to make it even harder, you have different contracts for characters, so sometimes you have to get different voice actors. You have to be realistic, but at the same time you have to be entertaining. There's so much you have to do to make these episodes really good, but I'm actually blown away by this episode. I heard some mixed things about this episode. Some people thought that it was a little bit lovey-dovey and boring, but personally I thought it was amazing. I loved how they portrayed Strange's character and basically showed that what happens is when he loses his hands, he loses his ego as well, and he becomes a master of the mystic arts and this person that saves lives. But when he loses his love life, that ego ends up taking over at the end of the day, and it's something that he can't stop. And I just think that's a perfect example of his character, because I feel like it was so hard for him to let go of his ego when he wanted to save the Ancient One and not save her. But when you have something as powerful as someone that you love dying, then how, you know, what lengths you will really go to save them. I just really think it was a beautiful episode. I'm gonna go ahead and give my rating for this episode. I would give it a 10 out of 10. Now, 10 being this is the best What If episode. Obviously, like, I do like a lot of the WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier episodes more, but that's just how it's gonna be because those are not live animated and this is. But this was definitely by far the best What If episode so far. Episode 5, I think it was episode 5, right? Episode 5 of What If delved into what if the Avengers were zombies. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I like this episode better than the last one, and the entire reason is because I, for those of you that don't know, am a massive Walking Dead fan. I love The Walking Dead. I have binge watched all of the seasons multiple times. Now obviously season 11 is coming out as we speak, and I am watching that with my mom, but I do love The Walking Dead. I'm a huge zombie fan. I love post-apocalyptic shows and movies, so seeing this really made me happy. Like, it truly made me happy because for those of you that are also Walking Dead fans, they took so much inspiration in this episode from The Walking Dead. It is ridiculous. Like, The Walking Dead is kind of the go-to show when it comes to zombie apocalypses, and it was kind of the turning point of TV cinema when it comes to zombies, and they took so much inspiration and did such a good job. And one of the things that shocked me was that this episode was actually pretty gory. I didn't expect it, but if you guys watch this episode, it was not a PG episode at all. I mean, I don't know how they got away with this on Disney Plus, but there was zombies' heads being cut off. There was Avengers' heads being cut off. Like, this episode was so good because they didn't hold back. They actually showed Tony, Strange. They showed these characters' heads getting cut off, and I didn't expect it at all because, I mean, you don't expect this when they're so, wary of blood and whatnot for Marvel, but this episode really did not hold back, and I was super surprised when I saw this, and I absolutely loved it. Now, coming from someone that is a Walking Dead fan, the gore was nothing, okay? This was almost nothing. I have seen so much gorier than this, but the point is that relatively speaking, this was super unexpected, and I was very pleasantly surprised because I didn't expect Marvel to go that dark. The plot of this episode was basically that Hank Pym went back to the quantum realm to save his wife, and instead he found his wife that had contracted a virus disease, a zombie disease, and she basically bit him, just like The Walking Dead. She bit him, and he came back to Earth, and the infection spread from there. Now, what happened from here was that the Avengers were gonna win, but what happened was the zombies still had their powers. They weren't completely stupid, and they managed to kill the Avengers as well and turn them into zombies. So this episode was about some of the lead or side characters doing their best to save the world from this zombie apocalypse. So it consisted of Peter Parker, T'Challa, who else? I mean, there was Bucky, there was Okoye. I don't remember everyone else because I only watched this episode once, but this episode was so good. Also, why are people just on me? Like, please go away. Yeah, this episode was amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was blown away. I was so happy when I saw Marvel going dark and taking the zombie route. I mean, it was super exciting to me. I'm such a big zombie fan, as you can kind of hear the smile on my face. So it was just a very pleasant surprise. And I really hope that they go more in depth with this, because for those of you guys that don't know, they actually left this episode on a cliffhanger. Basically, the entire show, the entire episode was about them trying to get to Wakanda because they had the technology to stop the zombie virus, and they didn't show them getting there, the Avengers, but what they showed instead was a zombie Thanos and his army. And Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet as a zombie with all of the stones, and he was about to snap. That is a crazy cliffhanger to leave people on. Like, that is insane. I didn't expect it at all, but they have to do a part 2, and I think they're going to, because Marvel fans would go crazy if they didn't. They should really do a part 2, because that was unexpected. Like, they literally ended this episode on a cliffhanger, and I think they were limited with how long they can make the episode, so that's why they're gonna decide to break it into a 2-parter. But I really hope we get to see more of zombie Thanos, because this episode was amazing. I know I might seem a little bit biased about this episode just because it was a zombie episode and I love The Walking Dead, but it was truly exciting, and I think it was truly good. Even if I wasn't a Walking Dead fan, this is definitely one of the better what if scenarios, and I really like how they developed this. Interesting enough, a lot of these situations, these what ifs, have been revolving around Hank Pym. So Pym, do a better job, man. You're kind of responsible for all this stuff going wrong in this world. But with that being said, like, I don't know. This was crazy, man. I am so excited for the future of the MCU. In the next episode, or in the next video for the Marvel videos, I think I'm going to talk about Shang-Chi, because I have some very good thoughts on that as well. But for now, I mean, I don't even know, dude. The voice acting was really good as well for both of these episodes. Now, the one problem I had with the zombie episode was the fact that some of the emotions seemed a little bit inconsistent with characters. For example, Peter, when someone died, and this was like actually The Walking Dead, like a lot of the main characters kind of just died to create a path for the other characters to survive and keep going to find a cure, and they definitely took inspiration from that, from The Walking Dead. But a lot of the characters died, including Okoye, Sharon Carter, and you know, just a lot of characters died. And Peter, Spider-Man, his emotions were very inconsistent. He was cracking jokes during a post-apocalyptic event. He saw Happy die, and then he didn't even react like a couple seconds later. Overall, it just seemed like his emotions were a bit inconsistent for the sake of making him a playful character. And I'd say that is like my one, oh my god, that is like my one gripe with this episode. I didn't love how they tried to mix in a sense of humor into this episode, because if there is any episode that shouldn't be funny, it is this one. Like, there's characters dying left and right. This was like so dark, and they covered it up with some humor, which wasn't the best part, but it is okay, because this was such a good episode, man. Like, I really love this, and please, we're fine. Okay. Now, hopefully going forward, there is a part 2 to this, because I am actually, like, really excited. I do want to see more of this. I think it would be really cool. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, but I really hope they do. I really hope they do. Like, I would totally watch that. I think a lot of other people would too. Like, can you imagine a post-apocalyptic zombie-filled world that also has Thanos snapping? I mean, that is just a scary combination of terrible situations. Like, can you, that, oh my god, that would be terrifying. Like, I would actually be truly scared of seeing what would happen there, because I feel like I feel like that would just be really sad, but at the same time, I really want to see it happen. I think it would be super, super cool. So I'm really hoping they do a part 2 to that one. But the next episode is actually going to be about Killmonger. I'm not too sure what the plot is for this one, but I know that it involves Tony being saved by Killmonger before he gets kidnapped by the fake 10 rings. And so I think that this is going to be an interesting next episode, and I will obviously be going over it in a couple of days, so it should be good. With that being said, let's go ahead and try to win this game here. It's going to be a bit of a slower one because it seems like they're not really aggroing each other, so hopefully we can win this soon here. But, I mean, honestly, I rated the last episode a 10 out of 10, the Doctor Strange one, because I thought it was amazing. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to rate this one probably a 9.5 out of 10, and the only reason I don't give it a 10 is because, as I said, some of the emotions were a little bit inconsistent, but that's not really the voice actor's fault. The voice acting was super, super good in this episode, just like the last one. The writers did a bit of a poor job with showing all of the characters' emotions in this episode, and that is just how it is. You can't have that all, you know. It was the same with the Peggy Carter episode. Bucky's emotions seemed very inconsistent, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. I think that depending on what happens in the next episode could actually make this episode a 10. I'm not too sure, but I think that this episode could actually get a little bit better based on what happens in the next one, just cause I just, oh my god, I really want to see what happens. Like, a zombie Thanos with an Infinity Gauntlet about to snap, and then the entire the episode just ends. Like, oh, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I am super, super excited. It's gonna be super good. We're gonna see how this goes, but for now, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'm going to be ending this game here by trying to win. Of course, you know, I wouldn't want to lose. That wouldn't be very fun. So, we should have this game here probably. I think we'll be fine. This guy doesn't seem too smart about what's going on, and oh my god, I just got blown up. But I think we are good. I think I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna try to break his bed. Got that bed. Gonna aggro here. And nice, we got him. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, join my Discord, do all that boring stuff, and have a nice day, everyone. See ya.